Imagine walking up to the front of a Blockbuster store with the family. As soon as you approach closer to the store, you see big posters of the latest movie releases and their amazing deals. You push open the glass doors and the sound of the little bell rings, signaling your arrival to the store employees. The first thing you see is the stains of the carpet and the smell of plastic cases with whatever was spilled to make that stain. All you can hear is the laughter and the complaining of other families deciding on what movie they should watch next. Inside the store feels like a labyrinth of movies with tall shelves organized by genres. Next to the register would be a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito and his cute succulent. When walking past the movies, you notice that they have a game section where you can see all the Nintendo and Sega cartridges. After shuffling through all the games, nothing was piquing your interest until you saw this masterpiece. You grab Donkey Kong 64 and start walking to your mom and asking, "Can I please get this game? I've been wanting to play this game for a while now, Mom." Your mother looks at you with the most disgusting face as if you're a disgrace and replies, "There is no way I'm getting you this for you. Your grades are all F's and all you do is leave skid marks when you sleep. You can pick one thing to watch, no games." You take the walk of shame back to the game section and return the cartridge from where you got it. But you don't give up just yet. You want something to do with Donkey Kong, so you try your best to find something close to the game. As you're running around finding a movie or a show that is close to Donkey Kong, you finally find what you wanted. The Holy Grail. It's 2024, nothing is the same as it was. Best Buy completely stopped selling physical media, movies, and shows. Xbox shuts down their physical game release division in order to promote the Xbox Game Pass. Live streaming services are becoming more and more of a problem, with them removing movies and having specific ones in different regions. CDs, VHSs, and vinyls are becoming niche collector's items rather than being easily available for everyone. I remember the time when I could go to any store, especially Walmart or Target, and see the amount of movies and games they would have just waiting to be bought. Now every location got replaced with just tech items like laptops and tablets. I feel like when technology starts to take over physical media, it becomes a problem of owning the piece of data you bought for later use. But before I start ranting about the importance of owning physical media, I want to start from the beginning, when it all started going downhill. Also, as a side note, I'll be talking more about video game physical media than physical media in general, so just keep that in mind. I feel like the start of live streaming services was the downfall of physical media, Netflix being the biggest and one of the first to encourage live streaming platforms to develop. Now, you could say that it wasn't just Netflix that ruined physical media, but the internet itself and some of the companies making it accessible for everyone. Before live streaming became mainstream, we had Blockbuster and other movie rental stores. As time went on, those types of stores faded out into rental machines like Redbox and Gamefly, where you could essentially rent out a game without leaving the house. Only real ones remember Gamefly. I remember renting out a game and never returning the game since I forgot to mail it back. I think that's why my mom got mad at me when she saw money leaving her bank account. Oh well. Netflix started booming in the early 2010s with that stupid meme spreading everywhere, Netflix and chill, which meant nothing more than just having a fun time with your partner.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck.
The expansion of Netflix really set the scene for live streaming services, and that it can actually work. People are willing to pay a small amount of money for thousands of movies and shows, with the possibility of creating new concepts of shows exclusively for that platform. Basically giving people a bigger incentive to pay for a subscription, similar to the whole console war that existed back then, with each console having an exclusive title. I'm not gonna lie here and say that the creation of live streaming services is completely bad. Like, who wouldn't want to pay a small fee to watch a lot of movies instead of going to the movie theaters or stores and paying an extra $10? People will find the cheapest way to spend money and roach off of others if possible. Netflix actually took notice that so many users borrowed accounts from other people, so they made it where you could only use the account under the same household. Other companies noticed that Netflix was making bank off of streaming movies and that they wanted to join in on the fun. Fun being stealing money from people and making half-ass original shows. Disney. More and more live streaming services started to pop up. Peacock, Hulu, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Crunchyroll, and the list goes on. At this point, I got tired of keeping up with all these platforms popping up. Like, please, just let me watch this one show. I don't want to have to pay $20 to watch The Bear once and never open the app again. I wish they could all agree to make a bundle package for consumers that include all the live streaming services for like $40 or something. At least the main streaming services. The worst part about all of this is that you still have to watch ads in between episodes and shows. Again, I didn't pay these companies to watch ads. I paid to watch the shows. Nothing could have prepared me when they announced they were making another payment plan to get rid of the ads instead of keeping it on the regular plan. I knew as soon as they introduced the ads, they were definitely losing money not having them from the beginning. When buying a physical copy, there aren't any ads, or I hope there isn't since most of the ones I have don't contain any. The beautiful thing about physical media is that you don't have to worry about the live streaming service taking it down. You own that disc of data. You can watch it anytime you want. Audio and visual quality are better. As fantastic as streaming gets, nothing compares to the sound and visual quality of a Blu-ray, which is independent of both the streaming platform and the internet's quality. I feel bad for all the people who can barely run a movie on Netflix. I know it takes so much out of your download speed that it makes it look like an old gameplay video from YouTube. Going to or viewing a movie used to be a distinct kind of engagement. Today it's too simple to merely press a button to download a movie. Our understanding of what a movie experience once was has faded. In the same way that social media has increased our distance from one another, the experience has become too simple and is therefore undervalued. I honestly think that physical media helps maintain the connection by making it an event. Time is set aside and preparations are made, as in getting popcorn, dimming the lights, and getting some blanket. This connection is maintained simply by selecting a movie and loading it into the player. Too many people just turn on the TV or monitor, whatever they use, and put on a movie or show and have something as background noise rather than actually taking the time watching it. While I'm banging my head against the wall by how bad my internet is when loading a movie on Netflix, video games are having a similar issue with live service games. Yeah, another live type thing that requires their internet to run. Apparently every company shares one brain cell and decided to make more and more live service games, making every single player game feel like a blue moon is happening. And for some reason people make it political and complain about the game when it hasn't even come out yet. I know damn well that these companies pay a lot of money to upkeep the servers, but once they shut it down, it's gone forever. That's one of the reasons why having physical copies of a game is so important. Unless I make a physical copy of a live service game, then it'll just end up collecting dust. The biggest example I could give is Helldivers 2 and the Suicide Squad game, and also Black Ops 6. I don't know why they would do this. I don't know why they would make it exclusively live service if there was an opportunity to level up offline and sync the levels as soon as you connect online. Imagine if all Nintendo games like Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. Only had live service servers and all the progress you made instantly vanished because of a new version of the game was releasing on a new console. This is the only good thing that Nintendo does with their games. They often never make live service games unless it's a small, fun game they know they don't have to pour all their resources into. Other than that, I hate Nintendo for barely having any discounts for their games and don't actually care about their older titles and porting them to the Switch. Also, they have this hate boner for emulations and preventing people from having fun by cease and desisting tournaments. I hate it. I have this love and hate relationship with Nintendo, and anyways. Live service games run into several problems that make the game unbearable or not worth opening. Almost every single one of these types of games have battle passes plastered all over the screen. Whatever happened to unlockable characters or skins by playing the actual game instead of spending money and actually giving people an incentive to play the game? It feels more like a chore to finish these battle passes since they have a time frame, and the worst part is that they limit you on how much XP you get daily. If you think battle passes are bad, then microtransactions will give you a bigger headache. That's how live service games survive. They try their hardest to drain the hell out of the money you took from your mom's credit card. It's crazy how much people spend money for new skins or level up boosters to hurry up their progress in the game. I mean, I'm gonna say I'm proud that I'm a stingy person, so I barely spend money on in-game cosmetics. You see, the best way to get them for free is to beg your friends who also play the game to get it for you. It's more like a bet. You can bet it if you win the game, and if you lose, you can still beg them. Trust me, it works. You're probably thinking right now, but Tito's, what does live service games have to do with physical media at all? Well, like I said before, if the servers for that game shuts down, then was there really a game there to begin with? What I'm saying is that games that don't need to be live service are becoming live service. I'm fine with some genres being an online only game, with MOBAs being the biggest ones, but making a game that generally doesn't need a server run off of one just lets me know that they're doing it for the money rather than making a game preservable. When live service games weren't as big as they are today, the majority of the games had multiplayer, but the whole game never ran off a server. There's a big difference between multiplayer games and live service games. Live service games are not preservable. Multiplayer games are. If I wanted to play Little Big Planet again, I could, and I could play it with my friends whenever they come over. They even shut down the multiplayer servers, but I can still play it. I hope you get how important physical media of games are, and if you're still not convinced, picture your PlayStation or Steam account getting banned or lost, and all your digital copies of games are deleted forever. That's why whenever a game comes out, I always buy a physical copy unless it's a PC only game. Sure, it takes a lot of space, but I would rather buy them right then and there than have to pay hundreds of dollars later to play them in the future. Overall, the idea that a lot of people are getting used to digital media is somewhat concerning. Everyone is treating it as if these live services were always there and not considering what would happen if we would go down a path of online only releases. The preservation of physical media is essential for culture, historical, and artistic reasons. The technology, aesthetics, and context of their era are reflected in original tangible media, which frequently provided a more accurate record of how art and information were originally meant to be experienced. When you own a physical disc or VHS, you possess the media outright. On the other hand, digital media is frequently licensed rather than owned, with access dependent on third-party providers. That's why the internet culture over the years has been pretty difficult to preserve, since you either have to deep search for it or ask Reddit if they ever stumbled upon it. Even with the Internet Archive's website and the Wayback Machine, we still can't fully preserve them, as you can tell by how recently they hacked into the website. If the Internet Archive, with all the preserved information it has from years and years of internet culture and history, were to disappear, then all the videos, movies, games, and student projects that were deleted but saved in the archives would be lost forever. I don't know if any of y'all remembered when almost everyone bought a blank CD and started flashing movies and songs on them to save them for their families who couldn't buy the actual media. I would go to this house office type building that had this sketchy old man selling Spanish dubbed movies for like dirt cheap, since you could tell that he flashed them on a CD and buy them. Look, if you understand my struggle, you would do it too, okay? I was a broke middle schooler who wanted to buy a new Disney movie without making my parents pay a lot of money. Also, by the way, I made this up. I will never buy pirated movies. All my movies are legit. Don't go after me, please. If there was some way to physically preserve everything in their internet archives, it would be ideal. But I know we couldn't, because it would take years for us to save millions of media stored on the website. Also, it can be considered illegal, especially with video games and emulation. In the end, all I want to say is that preservation of physical media is important and shouldn't be swept under the rug, as more media is being exclusively online, to the point that video game consoles are getting digital releases encouraging online only purchases. Hopefully physical media doesn't die out and people continue buying them. I don't want to walk into a Target and not see a single copy of a video game forcing me to buy it digitally. Again, not everything digital has to be bad, but the direction it's going in is questionable. Alright, please follow my Twitter. I make banger tweets sometimes and I need to get out of the hood. Please. And I know I haven't been uploading that much, but trust me, there's more videos videos coming out. So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you want more of these half-ass videos, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. See ya.